Right, so in a video entitled something like The Self-Augmentation of Technique, Parvini pauses and says, well, we talk about things in a funny way now. I mean, you read these books, he mentions the DSM and says we talk about these things in this sort of strange clinical way now we didn't used to. Well, we talk about it in that way, mate, because science has moved on. So if you read Pete Walker having been sort of attacked by the human equivalent of an animal for 42 years, then you read the book, you get over the animal attack. So it's like bandaging your wound after the teeth have been sunk into your flesh and you're putting the antiseptic in, effectively. You can confirm this by talking to an actual doctor who will confirm via clinical evidence that is the case, and as you walk it off, or whatever that is. Human brains, by the way, are really neuroplastic. You can go through pretty extreme stuff, including nearly freezing to fucking death, repeatedly, and just go, okay, well, thanks, my nervous system now just doesn't respond to anything, so we can lay siege to the city, and you're actually quite useful. But no, in terms of his current thesis, this is absolute nonsense. The current position is, okay, we had a current insurgency. Okay, the people on my side of the argument are still hiding in a Turfman Street basement with a video camera somewhere in the right-wing equivalent of the Führer bunker. But none of this stuff is actually a problem. Yes, you don't have to... You can read the clinical literature and not be hysterical. You can be making a salient point, which is you go to the guy with the motorcade, stop him, say, hello mate, if you'd like to come to the top of Arthur's Seat when you have a free moment, there's this bloke who runs Birmingham's court service who'd like to have a chat, and you follow the plan we've laid out in terms of convincing him in a childlike manner, can you be honest, sir? Can we do Emperor's New Clothes in reality in front of the British state to establish who has legitimacy? So this isn't a Baudrillardian construct or something similar. Physically, humans go to a location together, have a conversation with a sharpened steel bar in the shape of a crucifix, and you rely on the history of the country to know how that's going to turn out. This is not an unreasonable proposal, given the failure of the managing director to engage with her own court officers, is it? And we're not even talking about her, it's her boss. So when you can casually sit here and make these kind of inference chains, this is not actually a sort of a theatre performance. This is thinking it through. Oh right, we've got a total breakdown of law and order because of the problems you've outlined, sir. Yes, well done, we know. But you're sitting there saying, well, there is no solution, what do we do? Well, we're giving you one. Think about the actual constitution of the country and rely on the constitutional levers we have left based on the history, but you can't really do it, can you? Because you're an Iranian. So it's just silly, isn't it? So in your previous recording where you gazed off and said, well, we can't just do stuff like that, yes you can, because the country is built on that way. If we can't, then it is actually panic stations, because fairly basic reasonable inferences are then cut off, aren't we? Can Andrew Mitchell go and say, well, we haven't got commissioner powers because the place is just so obviously corrupt at this point, we can't do anything. If I were to walk into a Birmingham Council building and say what this guy is saying, I'd probably be violently assaulted because the auditors are. I mean, come on, mate, let's be serious. So you come in with proper security and you ask basic Socratic questions of people in the compliance department and just see what they say. So the benefit of Parvini being an idiot, as you come to Edinburgh, you sit in St Giles or something and you think it through and go, and when the silly noises have ended, you think the inference through and just think, well, what else have you got? You can't get me out of Scotland, you can't stop me from sending recordings into databases, you can't get hold of the laptop, you have no friends or family who have any leverage, I don't need money, I can't be bought, and there's a whole nest of crooks that just can be funny to send them to prison. So anyone in the country can play with a commercial drone, find the dangerous cretin at any point they like after sort of midday on Monday, and there's an ultimatum that doesn't actually make any sense because we've given various ones, they haven't complied. So for the record, if there's any of the seriously vulnerable people who haven't got a in theory, uncorruptible law firm next to them that would save them from serious violence potentially, could explain why, I don't know what everyone's been doing for the past year, but there are other people in Scotland who can ensure I can fly while he deals with Derek Gordon. And this is in a better mood as well. And the Marxist, the conflict theory-based shit wasn't filling my ears this morning. It was quite pleasant. So we've made it out of the building where they're afraid to actually enter. Where nobody actually checks you for weapons, by the way. There's not a bag check at the door. It just sort of implied that if you're going in, you're going to behave in a civilised fashion. So, but they can't do that on trust either. So again, fuck these people. We're going to destroy them. But the current thing remains. You're talking £404 a time. So any possession order put through from November till now is iffy, to put it mildly. And if costs are accrued because they've carried on, when the guy at the top of the factory, the only person clearly qualified to opine on the matter, is saying, well, no, I'm walking off the job, sorry, not my problem anymore, no, I'm sorry, we don't defer to this cretin next, and you're nexting until, we're talking mid-August now, come on, get serious. So we'll send this off into their servers again, but nail it down. What do I want to do on Monday? If I want to have a laugh, just go and find this pig and just stick a camera in her face, find out what she's saying and doing. Dissecting this woman is going to be a very, very enjoyable process. So you can refer her to the Capuchins. Two monkeys in a glass box. One is screaming it's not fair because their primate higher up, their brain is screaming at them with billions of years of evolution. Just start screaming, mate, or otherwise you'll die. And she's going to start behaving like that, and we're going to get to film it. It's going to be lovely. I just can't wait. But you can delight me from Scotland by doing not theatre performances. This woman's organic responses to being asked basic questions are going to be absolutely lovely. But we're just going to be doing that as the police turn up and she's asked under caution about what she's been saying and doing in Birmingham. If you want a Christmas present, then the accumulated works of David Gilbourne are going to be lovely for the mantelpiece. I'm a great appreciator of his previous work, where he writes, hello, I'm a fraud, please arrest me and put me in the darkest dungeon in England for the rest of my life because I've been causing people to be violently assaulted and I'm a crook. Also, because of the inference chain, you personally, sir, are going to get a lot of money, because if you're intelligent enough to read this shit and have some basic level of bravery to say this is absolute nonsense, it's like winning the lottery, effectively, if you're just not stupid. So we'll finish it off then. We'll send this off to get David Gilbourne for his benefit and his career. But I just can't wait for this revolting theatre performance to end.